DnD, DnD, beyond. Yeah, DnD, 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 beyond. Oh god, it's taking 5 years to load. Kill me.
I just thought of stuff as I'm making cups. You gotta keep
Why
it
don't you guys
fun.
just run, like, hog and ball, and then just, like, Genji McCree and, like, Big Zen? I don't understand why you guys can't just run that and
Okay,
win.
that's not like the Masters team. Stop speaking. You're mean. You're mean.
Hey, we can try it.
I mean, yeah.
Also, because Inferno knows if he just targets me first, he doesn't have to deal with it.
What? Don't even.
Can't
Bro,
remember
I was-
him
Bro,
anymore.
I was so mad. I was May. I was freezing him, but somehow when he moves and it climbs up a wall, it defreezes him, and I can't completely freeze him. It was dumb. I was like, he should be frozen. My whole gun ammo is gone. How is he not frozen? Fucking confused.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I never called for
I
him,
think
because the
that's
second I
the
found him, he disappeared, and it's like not
No,
worth
but
it.
it made this right. He was about to be frozen, then he would jump, and then I would try to freeze him again and take the whole freezing time again. I'm like, how?
Yeah, it's because
yeah,
they nerfed the May freeze reset, so as long as you can wall climb and get a quick double jump up, you can outrange it and reset it. It's stupid.
It's dumb. I was so pissed. I'm like, how is he not dead by my damage alone of freezing him? He was like half HP. I was confuzzled.
I was playing a comp game and
HP, shoot him.
I dicked all over a Genji today.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah?
Playing Brig.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
yeah?
Yeah, it was fun.
Dicks out for Bagheeta.
I can't
Yeah.
move the mic in front of my face. This is really.
She's got a rocket dick.
The rocket dick.
Okay, I'm gonna post something to memes, and
Hold on. I can't hear me.
I need a question answered.
Uh-oh.
The answer is no.
Is this Garth Maul or Darth Brooks?
Darth Brooks immediately came to mind when I saw it, so that's what I'm going with.
Okay, hold
Oh,
on. Let
God.
me look. Let me look.
No,
I think
what
it
was
needs
his
to be
his
Darth
alternate
Maul.
personality?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what the name was.
Bro, I don't know who the two people you said. So
Chris Gaines. That's just Chris Gaines. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I'm uncultured. I apologize.
You don't know who Garth Brooks is? I
That
suppose that
comes
should
to my mind.
surprise me.
Shit.
Maybe
Kinda
he's too
disappeared.
young.
Oh no,
First
I
time.
already lost my chaos coin. Fuck.
Zoomers.
Snipper.
Be right back.
Um, so, have you ever heard that song, I've Got Friends in Low Places?
Oh yeah,
Does anybody
Because
not?
Kua didn't know.
that song is white people black magic for me. Like I can't.
White
Not,
people,
can't
black magic.
Oh lord, I'm back.
it's a song that white people can't not sing to.
Okay.
That one in Sweet Caroline.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like Journey
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
or what's the Bon Jovi Halfway There or whatever.
Living on a Prayer.
Oh,
Living on a
God.
Prayer.
God.
That song.
You know he's gotta at least be 3/4 of the way there by now, right?
They would play
Gosh.
that. I used to go to a lot of college football games when I was in school.
God.
And they would play that every fucking game.
Oh yeah. It's a thing.
And Sweet Caroline and those sorts of things. I couldn't deal anymore.
Yeah, also what Kawaii Tiger said, I gave up trying to follow journal chat. It got insane.
No, like it was heavy, and then we talked about Dadbot, and then it got heavy again, and then I stopped responding because
This is not worth it.
Yeah.
it just went over their head. It's okay. They're offended what I said. It's fine. I apologize.
I mean, they're like, what, 13? They're gonna get
Jingle,
offended
Jingle
easily, it's fine.
is almost of age, and Inferno's young. It's fine. It's understandable. It's
17 and 15, if I recall correctly.
yeah.
Basically 13. Whatever.
Yep.
It's fine.
When I think of the stupid ass shit I did when I was that age,
I felt like
Oof.
I'm like one of those kids that didn't do stupid ass shit, but like had like there's certain stupid things I did and when I like things I thought, but like when it came to like serious stuff, I was like mature about it, I guess, even though boys are not that mature at all.
I just
That
remember
is
when
a
I was at.
garbage fucking roll, Dolphin. I don't know what that was, but that was garbage.
Cool.
So I don't
I don't
know.
know who's gonna pan out for a little more.
We
I'm
play
just
game now?
waiting
Is morning here? Is
No.
morning dead?
for
Morning
the
time.
sun.
here.
Morning's been
Morning
dead.
She's
dead?
in her bed still. She's in her bed.
I'm here.
She's dead though.
So what? Fight me.
Speaking to us from the dead.
I'm laughing because I wish I could do that.
I could
My
still.
headset can't reach that far.
Of my
You know what, that's
5,000 dice, which one should I
Oh, I brought my dice. But I have
use this
literally
time?
no place to roll them.
Just
I
roll
think
them
I
on the
got this
floor.
one.
You know where to roll them.
My phone's almost out of battery.
Figure
Just
it.
plug it in.
On your
Plug
dump.
it in.
roll it on like my work computer.
So yeah, Dolphin rolled 5 d20 to me, and of those d20s, he rolled a 1, a 2, a 6, a 2, and a 1.
Damn. Alright, well we should just quit now, cause
Yeah, this don't do anything that requires Dolphin to make a roll tonight. Clearly,
oh dear.
Set my
Here,
Hold
I
on,
have.
let my shit load up. Give me a
Hold
second.
up.
Alright, let's do
Totally
the thing.
forgot
What
we're
are we
playing
doing?
D&D.
yeah.
I'm
So-
in.
It is still nighttime. You all are still in the basement of the Emerald Shield that has managed to not burn down, although the courtyard is quite scorched. Zier's still dead. Bernard is kind of giving you some various options. Just plug in your phone.
It's plugged in. It keeps running out.
Bruh, that's unlucky.
Get a better charger.
No,
So-
Morty, what you're supposed to do is like plug it in, let it charge for like a percent, and then use it because it makes it like
I'm
it's
just gonna
charging. Then.
switch. Just give me like a minute. It won't take long.
Yeah, I got these like 10-foot cables that have right angle connectors so that I can easily phone from bed.
Testing out how quiet rolling dice is if I hold it up. I can now roll my big die without hurting everybody.
Oh my god, my mom's walked into my room. She doesn't like being on camera, that's why I turned it off.
It's fine. Which set of dice
What are we
do
counting?
I use?
I don't know. He's counting how many fingers he has. You feel me?
Gotcha.
Can Talon count that high?
What am I
I have no
missing?
idea.
What?
I have no idea.
It's always been 10.
You 20 more seconds.
Did I make it? I made it.
You did it.
Talon's counting goes 1, 2, 3, many.
No, 4. You know how many 4 is. 5 is pretty difficult, and then like 6 is like,
Where the break is.
well, yeah, because it's not on one hand.
Yeah.
Wait, do I start
So
over?
that jump is really hard.
Oh, what the hell? Dice aren't supposed to escape their bags. That's illegal.
Then you just get distracted. You go back.
I just imagine the Psycho Stick. I can only count to 4. That was written by and for Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone know how on Roll you minimize
Oh.
the avatars? Like the you can't click on them.
What avatars?
Like
Oh, the ones in Roll20?
yeah, like this. How do you minimize this? Because see, this is really
Oh.
annoying.
So it's in settings,
Yeah.
and you can
yeah,
enable
yeah.
chat avatars, and then underneath game settings, chat avatars, player size. You can
Player.
change that to names only, small. There you go. You found it.
We're in
That's
the
a
middle
thing.
of
That's a thing, yo.
Yeah, that's
Did you just
Because
learn?
like I was staring at going like, I literally cannot play like this. I'm sorry, but like it
It
takes up
too
the
much
dice.
space. It's ridiculous.
Uh,
I have it set to names only. Okay, so recapping, it's still nighttime. You're with Bernard in the basement of the Emerald Shield. The courtyard is scorched, but otherwise the fire has managed to be contained. Zeard's still dead, because
Oh boy.
she stabbed him. Uh, and
She's
yeah.
Shoved
So what do you do?
Well, if they. So Carla asked Bernard, did they try to assassinate you after Zird was dead and you had taken over your section of the Myriad?
Uh, I think that might depend on your definition of assassination.
Uh,
did they kill you?
There were certainly people who tried to make opportunist strikes against me to gain favor with the mistress. But I wouldn't say there was anything that correlated to an assassination. I stayed fairly off grid and worked kind of slow and hard with a few of those loyal to Zerd to work on resurrecting him. Um, I mean, the mistress knew about me, but if she ever put out like an official hit on me, it wasn't a very good one.
okay.
Certainly wasn't anything as advanced as what I just saw happen. Well, I didn't see. Bernard didn't see that happen, so never mind.
You what?
But he
Hold on.
Sorry, that was DM knowledge accidentally pouring into NPC knowledge.
The NPC's metagaming.
Metagaming.
Illegal.
That is not allowed.
Yeah,
Bro, so you're cheating. Wow.
Bernard's not mitigating. But no, he's like, yeah. So I guess he actually would kind of ask like, what exactly happened? Like, who was this person? And like, Miriam kind of explains like that she came in earlier in the day, and had like slowly convinced all of the guards to leave and was kind of scaring the shit out of her and the bartender, but Zir seemed very nonplussed by it all and was quite taken with her. And then, you know, she was brandishing that knife, and y'all came in, and it seemed like she was almost waiting for you guys to show up.
Did said she was like looked silvery and like glimmered and like kissed the life force out of him. Does any of that sound like
What does this button do?
So with a 21, is anyone else gonna try to make an Arcana check?
I would like to try if I am allowed.
I don't see why not.
Okay, here I go.
You're not allowed. I got DM from Meg. You're not allowed.
Not as good as Carl, but it's 17.
So Carl, you, based on some of your knowledge, there's a creature that is similar to this that you've heard of in lore before, but not everything matches up. So like it doesn't quite make sense. You need to do more research, maybe to figure out. But it seemed like this creature was almost like a succubus. But that doesn't quite fit the bill, just based on some of the things she could do. So like, for example, you could definitely tell, especially with during the fight using chill touch, that you were preventing it from being able to heal. And to your knowledge, like succubi don't just like instantly heal like that. As far as you know. So like it seems similar to a succubus, but that you know that it's not right. It's maybe close, maybe succubus adjacent, but you're not sure. And other than that, you guys are not sure what kind of creature this is.
Okay.
All right.
But it's at least a good start of something you might be able to research if you wanted to figure out.
Yeah.
And as you kind of, let me double check. Did I get? I did.
Why is he rolling?
I'm not rolling.
No, that's me. I'm
I'm
trying
not
to
rolling,
see
you're
which
rolling.
D20s need to go into dice jail preemptively. Since I have so many now. All of you.
Yeah,
All of you
Bernard-
dice jail.
Bernard seems to have, no, it doesn't quite sound right to him either, and he's like,
More crud.
it seems like it was some sort of assassin sent specifically to get Beard, but I have no idea who would have sent a succubus like you're saying, Carl. If you say that out loud, I don't know.
Yeah, Carl shares that.
Seems like I should make a roll for something. Maybe
You could
history.
make a history check.
Is my add-on not working? Okay, just a second.
That reminds me, I actually need to set up my printer and start the dice too.
I got a 20.
What you know with a 20? Yeah, based on the things that you saw in the fight, you don't have any other information than what Carlonius sent forth.
Okay,
He thinks
so
like,
it reminds of a succubus, but not exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
Go.
I think Faint would just wait by the front door in a chair. Just kind of drink and watch the door.
Okay. The door, by the way, I'll draw it in real quick, is in the top right, like up here. That's where the entrance to the cellar is.
I'll say that works for the sake of this. I don't know. I guess it might even be the front door to the whole courtyard, tavern, whatever. I guess the front door of the tavern?
Yeah, you'd have to go upstairs into the tavern itself to get to the front door of the tavern. Because essentially it's like, let me
There's
see
a
if I
wall
can
around
do
the
that.
courtyard. I guess the idea is if somebody was to come into this area, because there's been a lot of loud noises and whatever, presumably somebody's going to show up or something.
The only
I
way
would
to
think
get
it's
down
here.
here to this area is through that cellar door.
So maybe he'd put a chair outside the front door of the cellar in the burnt courtyard and wait there. And
Let
look
me see.
broody,
Let me see if I can
'cause that's what
sketch.
he
But
does.
essentially, it's kind of like top layer. You have like a road that comes down, and then you have the inn. Oh my god, doing this with a trackpad is impossible.
Oh, big rip.
So you'd have like the inn, and then like this is the front entrance to the inn, and then there's a back entrance out here that goes to like the courtyard, and this is surrounded by, or was surrounded by, high hedges and trees. Now it's just kind of burned, charred skeletons of hedges, and you
I
can
was
see it's
gonna
kind of like
say
an
was.
yeah, it's kind of like an iron metal fence that looks like the like vines had kind of grown around, go all the way down, and then there's like a cellar, like
Finger
almost a
gun.
store door cellar hatch right here. So you kind of like walk out, and then in the courtyard you go down, and then this whole room is underneath the inn,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, he'd probably wait up there in the courtyard area.
Um, so Carl asked Bernard and Scarlet, so what is this at all similar to what happened last time or anything?
Not even a little bit.
Yeah. Last time, well, apparently, when we saw Zerd again, he said that it was set up by the mistress, and I'm pretty sure this wasn't set up by the mistress. Last time it was very. What happened was very public. This was a lot more private.
Okay.
Also, she totally had Whisper, you guys, so that's great.
That's cool.
That's great. And now she has the thing of wound closure, so that's extra great.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Krug can whisper too.
Is that
Whisper, whisper, whisper. See?
Is that? Good job, Craig. I'm proud of you.
That's one of those.
Charlotte says in a very deadpan voice because she is very sad right now.
So.
Oh, but Scarlett's gonna ask Bernard if he's ever heard of Mistwalkers and Lyra.
Asks Bernard.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him.
So you just say, "Have you ever heard of Mistwalkers and Bernard?"
Yeah, so have you ever heard of Lyra, the like goddess of mischief stuff, and Mistwalkers, which are like her cult? I'm gonna ask him that.
He kind of looks at you blankly, and he's like, "I've never heard of a god by that name before." And the only reference to Mistwalkers I've ever heard, I think, is like lore that has nothing to do with that, as far as I know.
Oh, what have you heard? Let me know. Give me the lore. She doesn't. I say that. Scarlet, that's out of character for Scarlet because she's sad. So she just asks, "What do you know?"
He's kind of just like, I mean, the only Mistwalkers I've ever heard of were like a group of essentially like water genasi and Oh no. Don't
Hmm.
die.
Oh, first of all,
I have no idea what to do next.
Oh boy. This one sure is a thinker.
So you do still have the meeting at the city council in the morning. There are rooms in the Emerald Shield, so you could get rooms here and stay here the
there
night
we
if you
go.
want. Yeah, it's probably as you guys have been sitting here talking and like trying to figure all this out. It's getting pretty late. It's probably like 10 p.m. or so at night.
Hmm.
It's past my bedtime, guys.
Has there been any response from any kind of law enforcement? Considering basically a bomb went off? A person bomb?
The essentially no.
Okay.
Nothing burned down, and the city guard in this area knows not to ask too many questions if things seem under control.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Yeah.
And I rolled an 87, so finger guns. Thanks, Giga.
Well, hey, I mean, on the bright side, Scarlet probably doesn't have that many other people that could die and cause her to explode, right?
I would hope there is at least 5 other people.
Who?
But
We got it out of the way in one. We're good.
Did Fate say that, or did Froze say that?
No, that's a fraud thing. Faint wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Faye would just go,
Oh man.
No, I think Faint would be very quiet and contemplative. Contemplative? Contemplative?
I think contemplative, yeah.
incontinent.
Yeah, maybe. No. That would be upsetting. After all this, he just pees himself.
Oh no. That sounds more like a
Just
Krug
off
thing,
the
to be
scale.
honest.
Oh, a constitution check.
Did you know? Are you cognizant of that? If you are in the astral sea, you do not need to eat, poop, or pee.
This is correct.
Today
That's
we learned.
useful.
You just don't.
I think you technically
If you're
don't
in the sea.
age either,
Well,
right?
it's an entire plane, so it's a little more complex than that. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was that, Blue?
You don't age either, right? Just kind of.
Correct. I mean, you kind of age, but it's time works differently in the astral plane.
Wee, my baby 1 minute, old person the next, and I don't know which one soiled my pants.
Was it baby me or old me or me?
I just view Krug as like Tormund Giantsbane at the end of the big fight. All right, now which one of you shit my pants?
Probably. Oh,
Oh no.
rip dolphin.
Oh,
Rip dolphin.
Honestly,
Follow.
rip this
Dolphin,
entire
no.
session. I've disconnected like twice now.
So what?
I was really laggy on my phone, but it's better now.
I like the hidden penis in the map. I just noticed it.
What?
Hidden penis!
Oh, I see it!
There it is!
We all know whose fault it is based on the color too, because it's all color coded.
Secretive penis.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Ah,
Gotta leave the testicle.
Just one testicle.
that is all that is left of dolphin.
Resticle the testicle.
Resticle.
Wow. Yeah, you're back.
Hello.
So Carl's gonna suggest that we try and get some sleep, but do it in shifts. Guard his gross,
sounds
disgusting, decaying
Miriam-
body.
And Miriam is kind of like, if you want to go upstairs and get rooms, like totally understood. If you guys have bedrolls or something, and you want to sleep down here, or keep an eye, will kind of stay down here through the night with you to guard Zerd if you need.
Scarlet's staying down.
Okay, so you're gonna bedroll it.
Yep.
Okay.
Faint
I'm
slept
sure-
on many a bar bench, no problem.
Carl's gonna bedroll too, just to make it easy. Craig, you want to sleep down here with us?
Okay.
I just imagine Craig just face plants onto a table or something.
I was thinking that too. Just like exactly what he did to the fucking the planks.
Yeah.
Garth.
Are you guys gonna take any shifts, or like what's your
Yeah.
shift order?
Probably, right?
Scarlet
Yeah.
will take the first one because she's gonna have a hard time falling asleep anyway.
Okay.
Carl can take second.
I guess Krug takes last then.
Well, I thought there were 4 shifts.
Oh,
Yeah, there's 4.
but there's only 3
Unless
of
you have an
us
elf
down.
that can take.
James here too. And
Um,
Talon, but he's
I'm guessing
disconnecting.
Talon's gonna go get himself a bed in the main part of the tavern, yeah.
That seems legit.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, you want third and faint fourth?
That sounds
Sure.
probably accurate.
Hello.
Hi. Are you back?
Are you? Is anybody back?
Dolphin,
Is your
Talon
family
sleeps in
like
bed?
streaming Netflix? You gotta tell your family to stop streaming Netflix.
My
and my tea-
phone, because I want to see if this works better.
It's so quiet.
It's because your family's streaming Netflix. You gotta make them stop
Yeah, I
streaming.
don't know.
Time to
I'm
get
gonna-
up Pornhub.
I'm gonna turn on the I don't know. It's weird.
Can you like halfway eat your phone so we can hear you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's reasonable.
that.
Probably small child. It's not from my phone. I connected my headset, so it's
Oh.
fine.
There we go. But yeah, Talon,
Yeah,
go
I
sleep.
go find a bed,
Yeah.
sleep, because that sounds like a good idea.
It's too bad we don't
He's
have an
gonna-
elf that sleeps less to take one of the watches.
Man, that sounds nice.
Mm.
He'll
Yeah.
be
I'm
here
tired.
someday.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
Someday.
Yeah, who?
Jinx.
Yeah, that'd be
Who are we
amazing,
talking
wouldn't it?
about? Who?
Halfway.
Some elf
to-
jerk. I'm already starting to forget about him.
Rip.
Yeah.
Okay, so should I roll for first watch?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay, can I do it through Clint? It's not dark inside the. Well, we're keeping lights on, and I can do Clint.
I mean, it depends on kind of how you're watching, because Clint's perception is only at advantage for things relying on sight. So if you're
Yeah.
like listening for things coming down the stairs, it wouldn't be an advantage through Clint. Like,
Okay. So. Well, that's okay. I'll still do it through Clint because he has a higher proficiency
Okay.
bonus. So, yeah.
make a perception check.
But yeah.
Straight roll.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna use. Oh no! I left my Vox Machina dice on my bed. Hold on, they're on my blanket. Let me drag my blanket down.
Mm.
Come on, dice. Yeah, here they are. Grab my keyless.
I believe.
Oh no, the struggles.
18.
All right. So yeah, during your shift, there doesn't seem to be any noises that are kind of out of place. Clint even kind of like goes outside and uh, it's a straight roll because it's night and he doesn't have dark vision, but
Yeah.
it's advantage on sight, so it's just a straight roll at night. So he even like flies outside a little bit and goes and does some scouting and other than just kind of normal traffic in and out of the bar, not much happens. You can kind of hear him like as he's kind of up in the bar, just kind of like pecking around a little bit, just listening to like random conversation before the bar closes. You hear some people being like, "What the heck happened to the vines of the fence outside?" And the bartender there is like, "I don't know, man. Shit happens. I try not to ask too many questions." Like they seem to just be like, they're they either like there's a small fire, but we took care of it. It was only the plants; they'll regrow, or like various other obfuscations or stuff. They don't seem to be giving anyone any straight answers other than just like it was just a stupid accident, but everything's fine. No one was hurt. But that's about all you discover on your watch. And who is second watch?
Carl.
Make a perception check.
Perception, not deception. Oof. Oof. Carl just fell asleep at the
Oof.
beginning. Damn.
Oh,
That's a natural one.
big rip.
Yeah, you are very distracted by the events of tonight, and you were kind of like groggy when you woke up, and you think you hear some sounds upstairs. Maybe they closed the bar upstairs. You're not really sure. Nothing seems to happen. No one moves your body or anything like that.
Cool.
Third shift.
That would be the Kruginator.
Make perception check.
Okay, so perception. Oh, it was my. Okay, great. 15.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, so kind of the same with you. Like as Carl is waking up to go to sleep, it's probably like closer to 2 in the morning when you're taking your shift now, and the bar is closing down. The bar the barkeep is like, you know, do you want to drink? The barkeep that stays down here is like, I think I'm just gonna stay down here and lay low tonight. And say to you guys, you want to drink? I don't know if you take him up on it or not. But,
Krug, take a drink. You take a big old swiggy swig.
So yeah, he seems to be a man of few words, but definitely seems nervous. But nothing comes through the door. Nothing approaches the cellar, as far as you can tell. You don't hear anything or feel any movement through the room. And kind of once you get even just a little bit into your shift, a lot of the noises from upstairs tend to fade as the bar kind of closes down for the night. And then for the rest of your shift, it's pretty quiet. Maybe like a rodent scurrying outside here or there, but that's about it.
Krug's just sitting and like swinging back and forth and humming like.
Love it.
All right, and last check, is this fate?
Yeah. Oof.
Oofta. Yeah, kind of same business. It's a quiet night. You don't seem to hear or see anything. No one, comes rumbling down the cellar entrance. Seems quiet. Maybe
I
even
think
too quiet.
he wakes up the bartender and says,
Okay.
"Hey, bacon, eggs, where?"
And he's like, "Well, the kitchen's upstairs in the other bar. The chef
Got it.
won't be in until like
No problem. I can handle it.
He's like already gone by the time he says upstairs.
Upstairs.
Upstairs, he gone.
It's like
goes
his
to the
head was
kitchen
like
by himself,
head
makes
was over the
himself some
counter,
eggs.
just disappeared. No, he makes like a lot, like for everybody,
Nice.
and just like
He makes
puts
all
places
of the eggs and bacon.
they have exactly.
They have.
Temp hit
Uh,
points go away after a long rest, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody wakes up to probably cold by the time people actually wake up. Eggs and bacon.
That's fine for
Oh
Krug.
yeah, because the fire might have gotten a little.
Well, and it's it's a watch of 2 hours, and basically Krug woke him up. He goes over to the bartender, makes it within the first hour, and then maybe it sits there for an hour. I don't know. Probably not a good plan, honestly.
Did you separate them out to little?
They're just in a pile.
Is it in
The
a
eggs
pile?
and the bacon, like for different people.
Yeah.
I think he would set aside more than about half for Krug,
Oh, good. That's as much as he was gonna eat if you had it all piled together.
and then divvy up the rest of it on the plates. It probably doesn't look skillfully made, but it's good enough.
Good enough for
I
Krug.
guess. Well, for Krug, I'm sure Krug doesn't give a shit.
No, he
It could be
does
raw.
not.
I still eat it.
This, as we've learned, this is facts.
And then also make sure everybody has a beer to go with it, because that's important first thing in the morning.
Correct.
Beer, eggs, and bacon.
Fair enough. So kind of towards the end of your shift, everyone else wakes up. You all successfully complete a long rest. And nothing seems to really disturb. By the time you all end up kind of finishing breakfast, it's probably about
Okay, so
8 in the morning or so.
one more thing. As soon as Scarlet wakes up and she's eating, Faint walks over, probably kind of awkwardly, because he's not good at talking, and says, "We're gonna get her. Nobody gets to do what she did and get away with it." And then kind of goes back and sits down and drinks and stares at the floor.
Scarlet will give him a nod of appreciation, whether or not he sees it or not. She'll give him a nod.
Okay. Sorry.
Thanks for cooking, Faint.
Yeah, Krug says it like stuffed with eggs. Oh, girl!
Make a performance check.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's just yolk dribbling out.
Oh,
It's
There you go.
actually really good. That is some decent ass. eggs and bacon.
Hooray!
It is a lovely breakfast.
Yeah.
I am
Not the
actually
person.
proficient in performance.
Hey,
I don't
are you
remember
secretly
why.
a bard?
We all become bards as our second class at the end of it.
That would be pretty
That
amazing.
actually would be kind of cool.
We just inspire each other.
We just-
I talked to some people about doing a one shot where everyone had to have at least one level in Bard, and they were essentially like fantasy equivalent of like Metalocalypse.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's
This is-
good.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
This is wooden dildos, Tucky.
So yeah, it is now morning time. You have all finished your breakfast, got a long rest. What would you like to do?
The council meeting's at 10?
Yep. So you got about 2 hours, and from here it takes about hour and a half to walk there. So
Probably head out.
Yeah, sounds
go
like we
on.
should be get got.
wait. So I can
Okay.
use my spells and stuff again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, because Ag sent me a thing, so I'm just making sure.
Oh. Carl tells Krug to go wake up Talon.
Okay. Krug
Yeah.
go.
No way in hell I'm up at 8. That's
Hey, Carl. Or Krug.
Hey, me! Wait!
This beer's good. I'm gonna have another. Get slashed to the council meeting.
Oh my god.
This is a good plan.
Okay, so Krug, what he does is he
Wait.
just
Take an egg.
2
Like
eggs
a
and a bacon.
plate?
Give him a smiley face.
I don't know. Talon's gonna be hungry, right? I'm just saying.
Krug tries looking for an egg to give Talon because you said an egg. He's like, "Where eggs? Krug no find. Dragon eggs? Those heavy."
No, I don't think he can eat that much. I don't know if there's any leftovers. I expect there might be some for him. I don't know. Just give him a
Oh,
plate.
Oh yeah, there's
Like
1 plate left.
an
Krug,
egg,
take that.
a piece of bacon. That seems like enough food for him. He's not real big.
Alright, so Krug takes the plate and he kind of goes on anything that looks door-like to Krug and just like knocks till there's a response of some kind, and then if it's not Talon, he moves on. He doesn't say anything. If someone else opens the door, he just moves on.
Each of you roll percentile.
Roll for what?
Percentile. So roll a d100, or like if it's in game, you can type /roll 1d100, where it's these dice. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got a 56.
Oh, does Talon have?
I meant Krug and Dolphin.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Ooh, I like
One,
those dice, by the way.
Those
one
pretty
says
pretty.
7, the other says 80. I don't know how that works.
87.
Oh, it's 80.
That's
Okay.
what I
Okay, so 87.
Okay, so you got within 25% of each other. So actually, the first door you had just happened to knock on just happens to be Talon's.
Oh.
You kind of wake him up, and be like, "Hey, council meeting."
Oh, Craig doesn't even know that. He's just like, here, and he shoves the plate in Talon's face. And he
Nice.
walks away.
Why?
He's already gone. He's just gone.
Bye. Yes.
And he goes back to everyone
You're
else.
welcome.
He's like, Krug deliver.
High
Good
five,
job,
Krug.
Krug.
Yeah, I guess.
Fate wants to high five Krug. Carl's like, low five.
High five.
One of each.
All right,
Yeah,
so
but
tell
not
him
at the
what you
same
do.
time. We don't want to confuse him.
No.
Guys, Dolphin's trying to talk. You keep talking over him.
So
Everybody,
fun.
get close. We gotta listen. What?
I guess I'll get dressed and go down. Seems like breakfast was served a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Based on how cold the food is. So, probably wanted.
Okay.
Oh, the bed looks pretty enticing. So,
So you end up going down to them after you eat your eggs and bacon, and they're all kind of gearing up, ready to go out. So you guys start your way to the city council.
Yep.
Start walking.
We
Except
we
they just know how
go.
to get there. So somebody else has got to lead.
I'm pretty sure it's that way.
Scarlet
not-
knows the
not him.
city. She
Definitely not him.
leads.
She can
Sadly,
lead.
she's still sad.
She can lead.
Sadly, lead us to victory,
you-
Scarlet.
So you get to the kind of familiar guard station a little bit before the meeting, and it's anyone who can roll a perception check.
Can I do? Okay, I can do it through Clint, right? At advantage.
If you
Oops.
want.
It's 18. I need to undo this.
Yeah. Ooh, I rolled a 19, so that's a 23.
Noise.
Noise.
So it's kind of hard to tell because all the Brighthaven guards wear the same regalia basically, but since you guys have been here a couple times, you kind of notice that none of these guards are ones that you've met before. You don't know if that's just due to shift, time of day of the week, but you don't recognize any of these guards. But they do kind of droll on with the same bureaucratic process where you go to the guardhouse, like, all right, what's your names? And they, as you tell them, they like dutifully write it down. And he's like, all right, let me check the list. Oh yeah, you're supposed to be at the council meeting. And he like signals over to another guard. He's like, please escort these people to the waiting chamber. And you guys get taken back to kind of that same big cushy waiting room, and they're like, these kind of servants come up and like, is there anything? Do you want any water or anything before the council meeting begins?
Beer.
Coffee.
A little early for beer, but I could probably find you one. Coffee for sure.
Do you think you could fill the cask? That'd be cool.
I don't have those anymore. It's all been blown to shit.
That's right.
Oh, big rip.
Yes.
Can we get an F in the chat?
Cask of ale? That would be-
Chat, can we get an F?
Yes, can you bring me the entire barrel, please?
Yeah, my friend really deserves it. You should
That's
bring
true.
him a cask of ale because
I'm not
he's
sure what
missing
for.
one and it got blown up. And to be
That
honest,
did happen.
it was a pretty good cask of ale.
I'll bring you a tankard of ale. And she kind of like turns around and hurries off.
You
Three
see how
tankards?
big?
Wait, how many people wanted beer? I thought it was just faint.
At least 7 or 8.
Okay, everyone just order
It's like
one.
they're all for fate.
We just one round. We
Maybe
started
12.
early this morning.
Bring
It's
her
been a
a baker's
long trip.
dozen. Baker's dozen.
She comes back
Just
with
make it
one drink
a
per
lot.
person, very specifically. It has also a pitcher of very clear water that looks chilled in some way. As you're sitting there waiting, someone else comes in and says, all right, the council is ready for the visitors to come in and for the meeting to begin.
Just a minute, just a minute.
Uh,
I gotta get the pitcher, pour some on my hands, wipe my face. Okay.
After he's done with that, can I pour out the pitcher and like take the just like onto the floor? I don't care.
Carl like catches
then-
some in a cup.
And then pour like the people who don't want their tankards of ale into the pitcher and just hand it to fate.
Come in this
Amazing.
pitcher.
She only brings one tankard for Fane.
Oh, that was disappointing.
Oh.
She very
That was one
specifically ignored the request to bring multiple
I don't know
beers.
about you, but
I'm feeling 22.
like, come on, we asked
good
for
point.
tankards of ale, and she brought one.
Yeah.
Tankards. There's a
No tip.
plural.
No
up
tip.
there.
I'm
Yes,
giving
no
her a negative review
It's
on
fine.
Yelp.
Let's
Oh, yeah?
go to the meeting.
Oh, you can't make me.
Fine.
Scarlett just starts following the guy or whoever is leading them to the meeting.
So you are led into the council chambers, and it's the same big chambers as before, but the entire council is there now. It's not
Oh
just
shit!
a few people and some people, kind of interspersed and like stuff. This is now fully staffed. Not only is all of the council there, but like each of the council members seems to have like an attendant that is specifically like taking down their requests. There's
Oh.
a couple of scribes who are like writing down in shorthand transcripts of the whole conversation as it happens, and it seems like there's multiples to make sure that the report is accurate. And there's a few people up in like kind of the higher ranks of the gallery in the back as like a public area. You guys are escorted in. You're still kind of off to the side. You're at a lower level, kind of along the left-hand side of the big circle that is the council chamber. And you're kind of off to the side in this very VIP looking section. And the head of the council. Go back to my notes. So the head of the council, who is, you see a placard in front of him that says Phalar Olodith, How the fuck do you spell that?
Put
It's,
this on yourself.
it's an
The
L.
head, Phalor Oladithus.
Yeah, Olodithus.
Yeah.
It's an elven name, whatever. So he kind of calls the hearing to an order and has everyone kind of calm down. And actually, Rayfon is one of the last people to calm down. It seems like he's kind of heatedly talking to the person next to him, but eventually calms down as well. And he says, "Greetings, everyone. The purpose of this morning's council meeting is to discuss a." And he kind of looks, warily over to Rayfon, a possible threat to Brighthaven that has been discovered. Um, anyways, just for record of accounting, about a week ago, actually, it probably would have been like 9 days ago at this point, there was uh, an attack in the port, in the dockward of Brighthaven that appeared to be a Hydra. These adventurers happened to be at the right place at the right time and slayed the Hydra and were rewarded for it. But Rayfon here thought that perhaps more was up. And so we are here to kind of recount the events of what has been discovered. Rayfon, why don't you take it from here? And kind of cedes the floor to Rayfon, and Rayfon says, uh, "Thank you. Uh, I guess what is the head of a council called? Is it a chairperson,
Chairman. Yeah.
or is it like a counselor, or
Could be head chancellor.
It's a head chancellor.
yeah, we'll say chancellor. Thank you very much, Chancellor. Yes, so these adventurers agreed, as did a group that is not yet back yet, but I had hired a boat called the Pincer that was captained by. Hang on, I'm looking up his first name because I've forgotten his first name at the time. Carlos, by Captain Carlos Tam, and his crew. Aboard the Pincer, they agreed to take on the service, and my own personal bright guard I sent with them as well. His name was Jansai. Um, in the course of their expedition, they were attacked by some pirates. The reason why Captain Tam is not back yet is because they went and found the pirate ship. They had anchored it offshore, uh, did some repairs to it, and are sailing it back to port as we speak. Um, Along with another one of the adventurers that is not with us right now, um, whose name was Kanaka. He is helping Rifon back.
Who?
Helping.
Or not helping Rifon, helping Captain Tam back. So in the course, they found a suspicious cave and went through the cave, and they claim to have found several dragon eggs. However, this is the only one that was able to be recovered. He kind of makes a motion over to a servant, and the servant like brings in a wheelbarrow like this blue dragon egg that you guys remember, and he says this is apparently the only egg they were able to actually recover. As you can see, they're quite large. I've been doing several experiments and tests on this egg. This appears to be the egg of a blue dragon. And in addition, I did not bring these into the council chamber because they smell far too bad at this point. But they also um, managed to cut out some weird glands that were inside the hydras. And had cut off the hydra's tails as proof of being slain, but they found 2 more hydras in this cave that appear to match similar descriptions to the hydra that attacked the town. Now, these glands, upon doing further research, did appear to be altered somehow. I don't know if it was magically or what. I'm still unsure how they were managed to alter them, but these hydras could apparently breathe various elemental magics with the use of these glands. One of them was lightning, that appears to be something they have magically taken from these blue dragon egg embryos. Um, Unfortunately, it appears that the dragon egg itself is inert. I do not believe the embryo inside is alive any longer. But I've been trying to keep it to do more research on it. But these,
Blue's face.
I didn't have it up right now. Was Blue very sad?
I was just like dying on the inside. Oh,
I mean,
that.
just because this one is doesn't mean that yours isn't.
I was gonna say maybe we have some living ones.
No,
It does mean all the ones on the boats are.
Gosh.
I think that goes without saying.
Too soon?
A little bit.
So, you can see that there's a little bit of stirring in this conversation, and all of a sudden, someone kind of pipes up, and he kind of has a placard underneath him. He seems to be a human in nature. It seems to have very rough features. And naturally, I didn't make a name for this guy, so hang on.
Well, luckily, Krug doesn't understand what inert means, otherwise, he'd probably not have a good time.
It means alive.
Well, he didn't ask what it meant. He's just like sitting there. It's just all human talking stuff to him.
The humans are talking.
He's like, ah, yes, now it's time to disassociate.
So his name is Emmanuel Clark, and the kind of plaque below him designates military, and there's GN in front of it, so this appears to be a general, Emmanuel Clark. And he pipes up and kind of interjects and says, Ryphon, it is interesting that you found these things, but what proof is there that this was a threat to Brighthaven, and have not these brave adventurers now solved the problem? And Ryphon says, well, I don't know specifically if the intent of the Hydras was to attack Brighthaven, or if one of them just happened to escape and attack Brighthaven. Whether or not the Hydras are still a threat or not, I don't know that I know the answer to. We found this one hideout, and according to the witness testimony, all right, real quick, out of character, what all did you tell them about the Abishai and kobolds and stuff? Or did you just tell them you found Hydra and eggs, and you didn't mention that to Ryphon? I just want to make sure that I'm not mixing
Who's in
GN
charge
and knowledge.
of talking? I don't think Faint would tell him anything, so it's got to be somebody else.
Probably told them on the boat. Like,
Yeah.
what happened.
We didn't
We didn't say anything. But
We didn't role play it out, but I don't know if we did tell
I
him.
don't remember really having a chance to like take Ryphon aside and tell him, but I would have expected that we did that on the boat at least.
Yeah, a couple of you went into his office and like told him what happened, but I think we just kind of hand wave it as you recap what happened. But
Yeah.
I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I'm just making sure I'm not telling something that Ryphon wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I think
you all
I
told him
think
about
we
the
told
Undershy
him.
and the kobolds.
I
Yeah.
think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he then relays that and says, there weren't just hydras here, and it wasn't just random dragon eggs from the eyewitness testimony that we can see. There appears to have been a concerted operation to try and create these beings, and this was a place where they could do it.
I'd
To
like
what
to
purpose?
I'd like to scan the council as he says these details. Is there any way I could
Okay,
like look for signs of anybody reacting to that?
sure.
I'm keeping an eye out for shit
Yeah, make insight checks.
people because Scarlet's paranoid. Okay.
Let's say Scarlet and Faye.
Insight.
14.
Ooh, I rolled a 19. Sweet. Okay. 22, I think. No, wait, 23.
Damn, missed it by one.
Hang on just a second.
23. I rolled a 19.
Wait, what did you roll again?
I rolled a 19.
She rolled a 19.
Really? Whoa. Wait, what was it? Sorry,
Guys.
I lost track. I lost count.
So
She rolled a
19.
But it's 23.
Jesus.
So as you're looking, Phalar seems
Feller?
sure the counselor.
The head
Yeah, I
guy.
know. I made a dumb joke. I live in the south.
Oh wow! I just realized I randomly generated 2 people on this board who are both named Emmanuel.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that another guy was named Emmanuel. It sounded really familiar. I was gonna say.
Hey, people can share names.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
just
yeah, the textiles guy is Emmanuel Bradford.
At least he doesn't have the same last name.
And he's one of the elected positions. Emmanuel Clark is an appointed position because he is
Good
a
for
general.
him.
He's
general
the
and seems-
better Emmanuel.
His name is spelled with 2 M's, so he would say he is. So
Yeah, the other guy's just on him.
yeah, so Phalar seems kind of unconvinced but humoring Ryphon. The textiles guy seems a little bit nervous about all this and seems to think that Ryphon has a point and it's something to be worried about. General Clark seems like he's barely entertaining Ryphon on this and seems to think, like with your guys' high insight rolls, he is barely holding it together and looks like he thinks the entire reason for being called to this meeting is bullshit. He is not happy to even be here. Ryphon seems, very, very earnest, seems to be taking you guys at their word, seems to be kind of I'm just trying to get out the facts so you all are aware of this. Doesn't seem too super nervous about it. The Olusarin, the taxation / bureaucracy seat, seems to be very just kind of studious and just kind of taking everything in. Doesn't seem like he has an initial reaction one way or the other. There's someone, the person that is in control of agriculture seems to be very intently listening. The shipping guy looks downright terrified of what Ryphon is saying because he knows how bad hydras can be for the shipping industry, and if someone's breeding hydras, he seems very, very nervous. And you guys would probably intuit, like, hey, shipping hydras, probably a conflict of interest there. He might be nervous, and yeah, that's kind of what you get from that. Just in general, like everyone else seems kind of, one way or the other, but those are the important reactions.
Okay.
but yeah, General Clark is like, okay, but so like even hearing about the Abishai and the Devil, he's like, but I mean, this cave wasn't even close to Brighthaven. This was probably just a stray Hydra. Um, and again, it sounds like our adventurers have, um, dealt with this issue. So let's just pay them and be done with it. Problem solved. And Raifan kind of is quiet for a second, and then he says, I didn't want to bring this up, but there is some more lore that you all should know. And he's speaking broadly to the council. Abishai are creatures from the Nine Hells. Um, Specifically, they are people who made a deal, usually with oh my god, I'm forgetting. Tyler is forgetting the name of the fucking dragon.
Tiamat?
There we go. Jesus.
Oh,
Because she's gone now.
Often are beings who make a deal with Tiamat to attempt to gain immortality. One or two of these are dangerous foes, but if they seem to be organizing on the material plane to the point where they are genetically breeding special hydras, there's something else going on here, and I worry that Brighthaven is going to be sucked into matters not of the material plane, possibly even a target for some reason that I don't know of the Blood War. And General Clark just scoffs at this. It's like, the Blood War, why would they even get the mortals involved in their useless squabble? This is no concern of ours. You're being paranoid. And the kind of um, the guy who is the shipping councilman, his name is Kevin Gray.
fucking Kevin.
Kevin Gray.
Fucking Kevin.
Fucking Kevin.
Hey guys, be nice. He's in charge of shipping.
What's wrong with Kevin's?
There's nothing wrong with him. He was scared, so he's okay. By the way, I'm very intently watching people's reactions to Tiamat.
Okay, make another insight check.
Okay, I already used my 19, so let's see if I do as well. That still wasn't super bad. 20.
All right. So when Tiamat is mentioned, there is a general like sense in the room of people kind of sucking in air, just kind of like what? like
Suckers, man.
like this is not a name you hear very often. General Clark seems to almost sneer. It's hard to tell if it's because he knows something or thinks that this is completely ridiculous, though. But it's one of the two. And there's various other reactions. Most of them seem startled. It doesn't seem like anyone is like hiding them per se, or like hiding anything, or is like being super secretive as far as you can tell.
Right.
Other than maybe General Clark, but he's also just being,
The dick.
very blunt right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Mr. Gray speaks up and says, please excuse me, even if this doesn't have anything to do with the Blood War, the fact that there were hydras along the coast is a major concern to the shipping industry, which would affect commerce and everything else in Brighthaven. It would affect our shipping routes through the summer. There's a lot of things, or through the winter, rather. We're entering into winter. It's kind of end of. We're getting into towards the end of November now, basically, of a normal calendar. Because you guys would have started. No, you're towards the end of October. Sorry, because we're about a month in, and you would have started at like end of September, around the vernal equinox. Um, so, uh, so he's like, I think this is definitely something that we need to investigate further. And he kind of looks at Rifon and he's like, what do you suggest for next steps? And Rifon kind of says, well, that's the thing. I don't know if we have enough information other than, we know that there are Abishai. Um, I'd be willing to open it to the floor if anyone else has any suggestions, or even the adventurers that actually saw them and fought them. Is there anything you would like to add to the record? Um, announce to the court, or anything you saw that maybe now with these revelations may be more important than they were originally. Is there anything you'd furthermore like to share with the council?
Did we
Kinda,
give him the rocks, like the pieces of the rubble that from the gate?
I honestly don't remember. Does anyone else remember?
I don't think we even remembered we had them.
The rock,
Yeah,
the what?
we could
For
probably
the.
retcon what we did with them. Whoever's in charge of them.
Yeah, we can retcon if you guys didn't decide what you're doing one way or the other.
Yeah, I think we didn't even remember we had them because I don't remember anyone mentioning them.
Yeah, I just assumed Carl gave it to
What?
Rifon, and I'll take him out of my inventory. I totally forgot Carl had them.
Okay. And so you would have given them to Rifon also.
Yeah.
So Rifon will say, the only other thing that I know, pending any additional testimony from our adventurers, is that they did seem to find some sort of portal that was in the cave that seems to be how they were transitioning between the material plane and the Nine Hells. The weird thing about the portal, though, granted, our adventurers did destroy it to prevent them from being able to get in, but it appeared to be, as far as I could tell from the runes found and their description of it, a one-way portal. It only came from the Nine Hells to the material plane. If they were going back to the Nine Hells, I don't know how they would have done it. It wasn't through that portal. So that's another interesting bit of knowledge that I'm not sure how to square it this time. We need more information. Adventures, is there anything that any of you would like to share?
Carl's like, let's huddle, let's figure this out.
Mm.
I mean, he's kind of got the whole story. I don't know what else we could add to this.
I think the main way I would be trying to use this is to see what connections these counselors have to the Red Hand.
Well, we do
So-
know some of them exist with the Myriad.
Yeah, so DM note, that is the thing that Rifon very specifically has not mentioned yet. So if you were to bring that up, that would be on your own volition.
No, I don't want to bring up the Red Hand
Yeah.
itself. I'm just trying to. What information can we give
No.
the council in order to freak out people who are part of that, who are connected to it?
Hand,
I'm
right.
already suspicious of that Clark general.
Yeah, Clark's a suspicious one. Fucking Clark. Gosh, I don't know though.
Never a change
Definitely
Alice, which would be more easily
anything
attributed to incompetence.
No, that's true.
Let's see.
Is anyone looking at Talons more than the rest of us?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
And this has to be from you.
Yeah. I figured. Ooh, I rolled an 18. Fuck yeah.
Hey.
So 19 overall. I'm rolling good.
Nice.
19.
Okay, that is good enough that I will now allow you to also roll an insight check.
Oh, okay. Oh, ho, ho. Wait, let's go. Oh, ho, ho. That is a 18.
Okay. There are two people that do seem, this. You're not sure if this is, correlation or causation. But Olostrin and General Clark both seem to be kind of glancing at both Rifon, but then when they glance over to you, they seem to be always looking to Talon first.
Okay, let's go, dude. Okay, who was the first one? Alceron, the
Elostrin?
Oh, yeah, Olostrin, the taxation bureaucracy.
taxation guy. Alceron. Okay.
Fucking
I'll walk up
taxes.
to, I don't know, the middle of the room or whatever.
Interesting.
No!
I'm just.
So
keeping
one of them's
my eye
probably
on
the red
those
hand.
two.
The other one probably just got eyes for our pretty bard.
The other one probably just has a crush, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll walk up into the middle, and I guess. So, General. General. If Hydras aren't a big deal, being a couple days sail from the city. I mean, I've noticed walls around the city, but like, what threats are you actively defending against then? If it's not, if you're trying not to, if it's not your job to defend the seas and keep your shipping alive, I mean, you can keep your city safe by locking it down and keeping everyone inside, but those people will starve. So, what are you doing?
You can see him get very, like, visibly angry by this, and is barely kind of keeping it together, and is like, "Don't tell me how to do my job, kid. I know exactly what I do, and I know where the legitimate threats are. I don't think this is one of them. We shouldn't be squandering our resources on wild goose chases."
So
Hydra's
you were in charge of the guards that couldn't kill the Hydra that we had to kill in Brighthaven for you, then. Okay.
I'm in charge of the military, not the guards.
Oh. Maybe your military should,
In fact, a lot of the lower ward city guards are city guards because they can't cut it in my military.
Ooh, tough
Isn't
guy.
your military supposed to keep Brighthaven safe too? Isn't that what you're charged with? So, I don't know about you, but it
Our
seems
duty
like
is not just to
you messed
Brighthaven.
up.
It is to the noble realms as a greater whole. We serve as militias, peacekeeping forces, and protective forces for wherever they need it.
Well, they needed it in
you
lower
may
tiers of
remember-
Brighthaven.
You may remember, based on some missives that I have come across, that we sent a whole squadron up to a little town that you guys were from, where you seemed to be in charge of some mischievousness up there too. Interesting how this seems to be following you around.
Yeah, that seems like your military's not doing its job if you have gnolls and hydras and whatnot just going around the town. Like, doesn't seem like it's a great job.
He snaps and he's
Not
like,
gonna lie.
"Guards, remove this man. He has nothing to add to the testimony. All he's trying to do is tell me how to do my job. Get him the fuck out of here." And
I'm not trying to tell you how to do your
like
job.
two
I'm
two guards come up and start like hauling you away.
Carl stands up and is like, hey, calm down, everybody. Just sit him back down over here, please.
The guards kind of look towards Clark, but like keep moving him out. And you look at Rifon, and he seems like kind of horrified that Talon came up and just like straight up insulted like one of the council members, the general of the military, and basically told him like, "Hey, you're not doing your fucking job," just like right over the middle of the council meeting, and seems to be nervous and is not like he's not willing to stick his head, quite out, and so kind of Talon keeps getting moved, and then Phalar kind of holds up his hand and says, "Wait, he is new to Brighthaven. Perhaps we will cut him a little bit of slack. Talon, if you would rejoin the VIP area, you may stay for the rest of the council meeting if you should, but I hereby revoke your privileges to speak. You may not speak again, unless spoken to specifically."
May I
How
please?
how does Alceron react to all this?
Do you go ahead and leave? You said, Talon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also leaving to get dinner. So bye.
Oh,
Oh.
what?
Okay, well that's one way to make an exit from a scene while we rest of us can keep going. So Talon just kind of like, well, I'm not going to stop talking. So the guards continue to just take him out.
Yo, this is how Talon
and-
gets kidnapped.
His
and
mage hand
Ryphon-
and flipping him off.
and Ryphon is kind of like, I'm very sorry about that, Court. He clearly does not know the proper etiquette here. General Clark, I apologize for his outburst. Having said that, I think Councilman Gray and I would agree that if there are hydras being bred, supporting our shipping lanes will help protect the rest of the city. I'm not necessarily saying that we should deploy something right now, but I'm saying that we should be allowed resources to pursue this matter further, and we are open to suggestions of how best to continue pursuing this course of action. Thing, there's things we know, there's things we know we don't know, there's things that we don't know we know, and there's things we don't know we don't know.
Okay.
And right now, that's a quote from Donald Rumsfeld.
Gosh.
But right now, he's like, here, we know that there were demons that have something to do, possibly, with, or not demons, devils that have something possibly to do with the Nine Hells, possibly have something to do with Tiamat, because Abishai tend to be servants of Tiamat, and we know they were experimenting, not just on the Hydras, but on kobolds as well. The immediate threat has in fact been vanquished, and so, General Clark, I think you're right that we don't necessarily need to expend military resources right now. We don't need to spread Guardhaven troops any further, but in this battle, just a second.
Oh, he rolling.
Oh shit.
Oh, he rolling.
In this battle, and he seems kind of nervous about this now and is kind of breaking his cool, but he's like, my personal guard and member of Brighthaven, who was a valued member of the military, Jansai, was slain. And I don't want to see any more of our well-trained elite Brighthaven forces killed until we know a little bit more what we're dealing with. We should not be risking their lives right now, but what I am asking for is additional funds and research, possibly launching another expedition, or I'm up to other courses of action, but right now, the only thing I can think to do is to try and contact Mordenkainen. And I can try to contact him myself, but it is likely that the only way he'll respond to us is if we send an emissary in person to the Violet Toll in order to get information from him.
Oh
He
shit, that guy?
tended to be more of a recluse these days and is less willing to help. Um, but I don't personally know who else we could turn to unless anyone else knows anything or has any other suggested course of actions. Because what we know is these things were being these things were doing experiments. They were creating amalgamations on the material plane. What we don't know is for what purpose they were for, and if they were going back to the Nine Hells, we don't know how they were doing it. We only know how they were getting from the Nine Hells to the material plane, and it seems to be through this portal that they had set up. If they are setting up other portals somewhere, um, it may be something where we need to get the Wizards Guilds involved more deeply and do more research and see if we can locate more portals if they are in fact being produced and are being linked to other places in the material plane. But I don't think this was merely some rogue agents. I think there's something deeper going on. I just don't know what. And Clark kind of like leans back and scoffs, and he's like, "Well, sounds to me like you don't really have anything and know anything, and so my troops won't be deployed for now. Um, if you can manage to convince someone to give you the resources to investigate further, who am I to stop you? But I still think this is a wild goose chase." And seems to have kind of been placated and backed down, but like definitely crosses his arms, is very defensive, and still seems to be in a very prickly bad mood. Do any of you want to try and say anything, or?
Sorry, I'm writing.
Guys, talk to the guy. He probably is really nice on the inside.
He's a big marshmallow with a burnt outer side.
Well, what I was saying is that I wanted to watch what's his face, Alceron's reaction when Talon got dragged out and stuff.
All right. Make another insight check.
Okie dokie!
Our homeboy Talon just got fucking kidnapped.
I'm gonna use my first luck of the day. First luck, here we go. And that was an at 19, so that is 23.
There is a almost imperceptible brief kind of flash in Alceron's eyes that seems to be a mixture of excitement and nervousness of Talon being escorted from the room.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Send Krug after him. Or you go after him.
Okay. Cool.
So do any of you get up and say anything, or do you just continue?
So Carl's gonna stand up and takes their hat off and like holds it because they don't know how to address a whole freaking council, and says, based on what our group has fought and seen and researched so far, we think that it would be in the council and in Brighthaven and in the Noble Realm's best interest if we're given more resources to research this and to contact Mordekainen and the Wizards Guild, as Ryfon has mentioned, just because getting more eyes on this, especially from people and beings who are more familiar with Tiamat and the Blood War and how it may affect the Noble Realms, would be a good thing. Thank you. I rescind the rest of my time. And then Carl sits down.
And all the council members kind of bow, and Phalor kind of speaks up and he says, I do think that would be a prudent measure to at least attempt to reach out to Mordenkainen. If what you say is true about the infernal portals and this being a deeper threat. Having said that, we would be willing to. We will pay you the bounties that Ryphon had promised you for going down and hunting down the Hydras and trying to find this in the first place. But for additional resources, especially for going to the Violet Toll, I don't think it is prudent of me at this time to ask General Clark to risk any more of his men or ships. We can provide you some coin with which to perhaps procure passage on a ship, if you can find someone willing to take you to the Violet Toll, but I'm not willing to risk it at this time. Please, after the conclusion of this, work with Illustrian's people to try and get the resources just in terms of pure coin that you may need for such an expedition.
Okay, thank you.
I guess if we're about to leave, Thane will stand up and look at General Clark and say, I've seen generals in the sort of scenario you're in, and if it goes wrong, you're gonna wish you'd done more. And then he'll just turn and leave with everyone else.
Are you trying to like intimidate or persuade or deceive or anything like that? Or is if not, I just make you roll a journal charisma check.
Whatever
It
your
could
higher
be-
proficiency is.
Well.
Well,
It's none of them. So
they're all one.
they're all -1.
Ah!
Yeah, I was gonna say that might be -1. So yeah, just make a charisma check then.
There you go.
Yeah, same.
It comes off sounding like a drunk idiot.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret this, buddy.
You see him just roll his eyes at you and just scoff and is like, your adventure is getting 1 or 2 scrapes and you think you know everything. Whatever.
Krug immediately stands up and he goes, Krug has to pee, and then he pees.
Just right there?
Yeah. And he looks
Just
at the
like-
general right in the eyes when he does it, too.
Like, does he use like a bench as a urinal or something,
It's
or
just
just
a
like
powerful
stands and
stream.
He just stands up, like he goes to the center. He looks like he's gonna say something really important, and he does that.
Do you like whip it out and like pee all over the floor, or is it like going onto the loincloth and just kind of
Krug has no pants! You just go!
Well, he's still got a loincloth. He's got
No,
something
he
like-
doesn't!
Like,
No,
is he
he's-
going like he's at a urinal, or is he just like, I'm gonna spread my legs?
Krug is
and
basically a
it?
naked man, is my understanding.
Yeah, all he has is a cape.
You still have to have a loincloth.
What? Since
People don't
when?
let you into establishments.
Yeah, you
I don't
couldn't do
know.
that to the freaking
When a
council
guy looks
meeting.
like Krug, you don't tell him he can't come in.
Yeah.
Depends on where you are.
Alright.
If you didn't have a loincloth, you wouldn't have been allowed into Brighthaven at the gates in the first place.
Well, no one told me that.
That's true.
You
That
seemed
is
like
oppression.
full figure. It had no loincloth. I mean, it didn't have anything else going on down there either, but like...
That's for the children.
Krug actually have a micro penis, or
I don't know.
He's
Just-
a
I
grower, not a
expected-
shower.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. Let's
But
say he
he's
has a
also-
loincloth and just lifts it.
yeah.
He
still
just
like the
pees
idea it's
himself.
like
He
kinda like
doesn't
a
do
horse.
anything special. You just know it happened, and it's all over the floor. And he looks. He's looking at the general. It's kind of like an intimidation thing, but a really weird one.
What would, this,
Oh
what,
my
would this-
gosh.
what would be the follow
make
to
it-
this in orc society? Like, this is probably a normal tradition in an orc society, right? Are they supposed to have a duel now, or does
Sword fight.
Make an intimidation check.
All right.
Please be in that sweater. Can you imagine?
3.
Oh,
guessing.
good.
What did you just roll?
Hold
my God.
on. Let me find my intimidation. Oh, okay. 10. I rolled a 4.
Oh gosh.
He just looks at Ryfod and is like, "What kind of untrained, unhousebroken mongrels are hiring these days? Get this
Carl-
out of here!"
Carl
Like-
stands up and says, This isn't being unhouse trained. Carl knows where to pee, or Craig knows where to pee at. Just, you're a butt." And walks out.
And the journalist is just like, "What is happening here?" And he's just confused at this point, and like, the guards start kind of escorting you out, but everyone kind of leaves anyway. And you can kind of hear Joel Clark being like, "I move that we move the rest of this session to a private session," and that's kind of like the rest that you hear is like the doors close behind you as you
Wait,
go out.
I have another question.
Okay.
Yes.
Were any of them looking at me weird? Looking at Scarlet weird?
Well, not when Krug peed, that's for sure.
And not the whole time. Not just when Craig feed.
Make an insight check.
Make an insight. Okay.
Just imagine Krug sitting there in like the Wonder Woman pose.
I
Yeah.
in my second luck of the day. I was thinking emotion. I was thinking that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Especially her reaction at the end.
yeah,
That's
yeah, her
exactly
reaction.
it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, okay, what is that?
Oh my god.
It's with these guys.
19.
And we're the best you got.
Well, if the general is the bad guy, he's gonna always remember he got bested by the guy who peed in the middle of the council meeting.
I mean, I wouldn't call it best.
Please.
Well, eventually, right?
Yeah,
It
no,
hasn't
no, I'm
happened yet.
saying if he is a bad guy
One
and we,
day.
like, defeat him, then he's gonna
Ah.
remember that.
No, this is gonna be a enemies to lovers situation.
They fall in love.
Oh my god,
Um,
that'd be amazing.
So, no, as far as you can tell, no one is looking at you particularly interesting one way or the other.
Okay, that's good.
Most of them are pretty like transparent with their reactions, and since you didn't say anything, they weren't like looking at you. But you could tell that there were a few that were like very much guarding as much as they could of any reaction one way or the other to the meeting and the proceedings, basically until Krug just straight up pees on the floor. And
Cool.
at that point, basically everyone loses their shit, and there's like there's a lot of scoffs and a lot of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, Ryfod, you were right, but what? or there's like it just proves these people are lunatics. Like, those are the two reactions, and they're kind of mixed and matched, you know, between the people of the council.
Chaotic
Then Krug
neutral!
So, once we're out of the doors, are we saying we're out of the council chambers?
Yeah, you're out of the council chambers now, and you're kind of in a hallway that's leading you back to like the waiting room where Talon is. And one of the guards that's with you is like, "The fuck is that? Some kind of orc thing?" Like even this guard that is like supposed to be almost like the equivalent of like the British troops that like stand there and you do whatever to them and they never make a reaction. Like even they're completely like blown away by what has just happened. Like is that like some sort of like challenge to a duel or something, or what was that? Why did you just pee on the floor? And the other one is just kind of chuckles, and actually as they chuckle you can tell that the other one might not actually be a dude, might be androgynous, kind of erring on feminine, and lets out a very feminine laugh, like just kind of laughing at the whole situation in general, and it's kind of like, I'm only saying this because I don't think you guys would tell him, but Jill Clark is an ass, and I approve of what you did. And the other one is like, "What? No, chamber."
My favorite NPC, unnamed guard number 2.
Same. I don't know them, but I love them
I
already.
love them. They're my heart.
Carl goes to fist bump unnamed guard number 2, and then asks, "Where did our buddy go?"
Talon should be back at the waiting room, and like Loki bumps you also.
Nice. All right, come on, you guys, let's go find Talon.
Please.
Yeah. Except Scarlet
you
doesn't
go
say
back,
that. She said.
but the guards do not leave this time to like leave you alone, and they're like, "All right, now that you have Talon, we're under orders to continue to escort you out for your infractions of the court. Trust me, you're getting off easily by simply being banished from the council chambers."
Well,
I were banished for good.
Carl
Oh my
asks,
God.
"Is right? Do you know if Ryfon's still going to be in the meeting, or can we go see him?"
Ryfon's still gonna be in the meeting. I imagine they'll probably be deliberating for a while longer yet.
Where are we supposed to get our money?
At this point, we will have it sent to you in a courier. Let us know where you're staying, and we will send an armed courier to make sure that your reward gets delivered to you.
Courier's gonna stab us?
They're gonna stab you.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun. Can you
I mean,
send them
it's.
to Scarlet's room then?
mm,
Separate bed.
I mean, you guys pissed off a senior member of the council and the person who controls the Bright Guard and the larger military deployments in the Noble Realms. So,
We're
like,
getting paid 1 whole gold.
Nah, he said we get paid full amount before Krug peed. That still counts.
Should have gotten paid up front.
Yours is mine, so.
They're scribes. It's in the record.
scribe reading back. Is that what you have? That's what I have. Oh, fuck.
Big ass orc, pissed.
It was a powerful stream. I could hear it
Yeah.
from my
Like,
seat and
the
back.
Most impressive.
The council chambers are huge, and you were right in the middle when you did it, and you managed to make it like almost halfway to like the outer row where the actual council members sit. That was probably like a 20-yard piss.
Oh my god.
Hit that perfect angle.
It's probably 20
Farthest
feet, not
from
yards.
surgery.
Krug just earned a new title.
Krug Longstream.
I don't know, I kind of get the feeling this is not the first time he's done something like this.
No.
Like maybe this is practiced behavior.
If you want to ask him if it's an orc thing, go ahead.
Krug, is
I mean,
this
what
how
I
you got the
did.
scar?
It's a Krug thing. There's a reason why he's not with his tribe anymore. Let's just leave it at that.
So I guess we're free for the rest of the day? It doesn't seem like we have to do much, right?
I guess not. You just need to tell us where you're staying so we can
Oh, yeah,
deliver.
that's right, we're still talking to you.
Oh yeah. Carl's like,
Where are we
you guys, are we
staying?
just gonna stay at the Emerald Shield? Or should we stay at a different one?
That's
I
fine.
don't know.
Okay.
About as safe as
You
anything
guys go.
else. At least there's
You
an
guys.
address to give them to bring us money.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how
true.
it has to work.
Go for it, you tell him.
Me?
Do you think they would send it to?
We're staying at the Emerald Shield.
Mm.
Okie dokie. And with that, you are escorted off the premises. And what do you do? The world is your oyster.
And
Alright,
bathroom.
I mean, it was never not Craig's
Gosh.
bathroom.
Craig, I don't know what the nerds are gonna do, but do you want to go? You want to have an adventure? It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
It has singing involved.
Okay.
Yes? No?
Yes? Oh, did I get gated?
I think so.
Probably.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
I don't know where we're gonna go without Ryfon's thing. I'm in. Can I go too?
I guess. I don't know how
Yeah.
helpful you'll be, but yeah, you can come. It'll be
Okay.
fine, I guess. Just take off down the street. I guess go to the nearest park or open area or I don't know, someplace. I just go off singing like when a humble orc peed across the floor. I just keep going.
Krug takes out the recorder you got him earlier and finally starts blowing on it like.
Oh Jesus.
Each of you make performance checks.
Oh, I forgot the nat one on this dice says shit.
Oh my god. Definitely gonna get better.
But my performance is +6, so it's technically 7.
Yeah, so
Well, it's shit
not
plus
your
6.
not your strongest performance. Perhaps it's just been the emotions of the last week.
Dice jail.
the-
Basically just a
Got
spit tube.
yeah, the kind of
Yeah.
fallout from the council things, but people aren't just not tipping you. Wherever you're performing, like in this park, people are like actively avoiding you. Like the area is starting to clear out, and there's just like no one
I had a
close to you.
and everything. I would like to start trying to, with Krug's help, start trying to compose a song, that's like tavern worthy, that just could be performed, just like I don't know, in a night set or something, that is like taking or not taking down, but like I don't know what the word is, dismissing or like putting down
A diss
general-
tract of the general? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Yeah, like a smear campaign of like the generals.
So far, so
Maybe,
good.
we could maybe do some research and like go and ask some guards of like the general's deed, because I doubt I would. No way I would know anything. But like, we're gonna do a little research, ask some of the guards, like, oh yeah, like, what did he do badly, basically, and nothing about anything good, just bad stuff, and then weave it all in and try to make a song out of it.
So there's no real guards around to talk to. Basically, all you've gotten is what you got from the 2 guards who kind of escorted you out.
Sure, can talk to them. That's fine. They'll probably know.
Well, I mean, one of them was
They're
basically
inside
like-
the thing and we're out.
yeah, everyone's out now. But basically, one of them was like, "That guy's an ass," and the other one's like, "Yeah, he's an ass, but like, you can't pee in the middle of you can't do that.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
And so, but that's basically all you'll get. Like no one
Is
will
that
tell you.
allowed?
And kind of with that performance check, you guys are like putting together like maybe a rough outline of a song, but it's not a good song. You want it to be good so bad, but you feel in your heart this is just not a good song.
So
And
at least for
it
me,
needs some more work.
yeah, I'll take the rest of the day, or I guess however long, like, like noon.
Take the whole day
Carl's
doing
like,
this.
Yeah, take the rest of the day and try to.
It's still
Make
pretty
something.
early. It's probably like 11 in the morning or so by now.
Yeah, I'll take the rest of the day. I don't know, 5 or 6 hours,
Okay.
and just like either sit in the park with Krug as long as he could keep an interest. I know there's a lot of squirrels, so we'll see. But yeah.
Well, as long as you can make it in real life, I'll allow it to be a thing, and we'll see how it goes over at a tavern next time we try.
Oh my god.
Carl's like, what if we insulted what he looked like in like the first verse,
Hmm.
and then
Good enough, good
say
enough.
his wife cheats on him because of his small member in the second? That always seems to go well in taverns
Yeah, definitely.
because guys like to make fun of small penises for some reason. I don't understand that, but what did he look like again?
God, for some reason, Carl saying that reminds me of one of the most inappropriate quotes from the movie Clerks 2. A
Never
large
glass mouth.
few inches away from a small penis.
In what direction though? Doesn't that?
Do we know where like the magic item selling area of the city is?
Yeah,
Like, didn't we
I
visit
mean,
there recently?
yeah. So there are magic shops that you've been to so far. There is like the entire like market district. Not all of it is magic stuff. You might find some lower end magic stuff there. You have the if it's like a weapon, the you now know a blacksmith in the dock ward that he and his wife are make some relatively magic items, but it depends on kind of what specific classification of magic item you're looking for.
Memory, memory magic. Stuff that has to do with.
In terms of modifying people's memories, or in terms of being better at remembering things?
Both. More the second one.
Okay. So you don't know a place off the top of your head that you've already been to that has one, but you know like a couple shops you might be able to look around. So make an investigation check. Nice. So yeah, you do, like, you kind of are walking around the market district, and you're kind of like, well, if it's gonna be heavier magic thing, not just like a crafted weapon that's magical, maybe they're like closer to the Solarian Academy, and you kind of head that way, and you find this fancy shop, and first shop you walk into, you go in, and they have like a whole assortment of things from like various wands, and they have a couple of potions that look like they're in very very nice like crystal vials. It's not just like regular glass, it's like super nice vials. And they have a whole bunch of like random assortment of jewelry and worn magic items like that. And you see this very lovely half elven woman um, answer and says, and this is not Meloria's Emporium. Oh wait, oh, this would be Meloria's Emporium actually. And Meloria happens to be in today with that investigation check. So as you enter, Meloria says, "Welcome to Meloria's Emporium. I am Meloria. Is there anything I can help you find?"
That's a mouthful. Hmm. I'm looking for a way to make someone remember something.
Interesting. Can you be a little bit more specific? Is it something they're just having a hard time remembering and you want to try and clear up their memory, or do you think their memory was tampered with in some reason, some way?
Yes, both, all of it.
You're a descriptive one, aren't you? Okay, well,
Yes.
um, if you're trying to have someone help you remember something, there is an item that we sell. We do have one in stock right now. It is called a Circlet of Intellect. It helps boost your intelligence whenever you're wearing it. It does cost a pretty penny, though. Hang on, let me. Dang it. Where did I put this? Is it in my Google Drive? Why is my Google Drive zoomed all the way in?
Giga melds into the background
There she
Like-
go.
Bye.
like Shadow Cat or something.
That's amazing. Memory.
Am I supposed to
Oh
know
my
who
God.
Meloria Porium Lorium is?
William?
It is probably the nicest magic shop in the whole town.
Mm.
I don't know if you specifically would know anything other than that, but that is very clear the second you walk in.
So Faint looks really uncomfortable, and he's trying not to touch anything. Like stand in the middle of the aisle, away from everything, so it won't get dirty or break.
What is happening in the background? Oh my god.
You some.
Wait, am I being loud? Sorry.
Yeah, it's coming from you.
Sounded like you're in the middle of a street.
Yeah. Trying to add some.
It's her ambiance.
It's
Yeah.
Destiny.
Oh, that reminds me. I didn't turn on like anything for. It's been quiet on the stream.
So she kind of goes back to
There you
the back to like look for stuff and like do research.
I am looking up the price of things.
Well, he's gonna interrupt as she's thinking about it or talking about it and saying, and I also want to.
No, I'm thinking. She's not thinking. I'm
know.
thinking.
I know. Oh, okay, so she says what she says, and then he adds, I also want a way to make other people remember it.
Oh, it's called the Headband of Intellect, and it costs 1,000 gold. So you want something to be able to share a memory with someone.
Yeah.
So,
Presumably, it would be good to make sure it's a memory worth sharing first, though.
so that gets a little more tricky. So for as far as remembering things, that is something that a potion of greater restoration can assist with. It depends on the exact type of magic used. If what the fuck?
Say one doesn't know what kind of magic was used to block the memory. Hypothetically.
So a potion of um, sorry, there's not an exact potion, so I'm having to make an approximation based on some other factors.
It's D&D. We can make shit up.
Yeah, no, but I'm just trying to make sure that it matches consistency with how my universe pricing works.
I can
Um,
appreciate that.
So there are two different ways. Now, there are potion versions and there are scroll versions of both of these magics. It depends on how the memory was lost. Um, there are certain spells that can modify your memory, and if that is what happened, um, then something like a greater restoration or sometimes adventurers that travel between some of the planes of existence sometimes forget parts of their memory or are under influence of magical creatures that can affect their memory. And either a scroll or a potion of greater restoration would likely restore that memory if that is one of the ways. However, another way to change memories is via curses. And so you would need a scroll of remove curse or remove poison, or remove curse or a potion of remove curse. It's a little more expensive to make the potions than it is the scrolls, but if that's what it is, it should relieve it. Um, Finding out whether it's a curse or a more arcane magic, um, that may be in the purview of sages. You may need to go to a place of worship and find a cleric or it's possible even a powerful wizard might be able to discern what's wrong if they have the right spells capable of doing that. Um, Again, it depends on how the memory was modified. There is another spell um, that I can either make a potion for, and the helm I'm about to tell you about that can help share memories works in a similar way. So, uh, there is a helm of telepathy, and there is a spell of reading thoughts, and if you allow it, and there's a powerful enough wizard, they might be able to dig into your memories and find things out. However, if you do that willingly, you have no control over which memories the wizard knows or doesn't know, and based on how the spell works, it is not a memory that the wizard can unlearn. They just know it forever. It is part of the arcane power of the spell. Um, so that could be traumatic for both of you, depending on what the memory is. But it is definitely possible. And a helm of telepathy, in theory, allows you to share kind of base level thoughts. But I get the sense that you're not wanting just to share a base level thought with someone, because if you wanted to do that, you could just tell them, I'm assuming. So,
Morningstar?
what?
I love it. He's so angry.
She
Oh god.
Why is it Barney?
Why is he so angry?
It's the birthday tradition in the other server I'm in. It's someone's birthday. We all switch to their icon, and they picked this as their icon for us to all switch to.
Jesus.
Dear. So I could probably work some magic using multiple helms of telepathy. That if you're more looking to more viscerally share a memory, to where they can experience whatever it is that, and she kind of looks at you. I'm assuming, experience
that.
She's assuming that.
Fair enough.
And you can say didn't say that. She just runs right over it, ignores it. And she says it might be possible to set up multiple helms of telepathy with special magics to be able to share a memory together. Are you wanting to just share it with one person? Just you and that other person? Or...
Don't know.
Okay.
I'll have to get back to you with more details. You seem like the person to talk to, though.
I am quite skilled in arcane crafting.
You live
given
here?
enough time and resources. Yes, I do. Actually live above here. My
That's good.
apartment is above the store. And this store is fucking huge. Like, it is like 6 levels to the store that are obviously store, and then there's higher levels above it with like a small spire on top. It is clear. Wow, what the fuck just happened? Sorry. I just got a ping. What? What is happening in memes? I just saw a message that says my pussy pops severely, and I am just like, what's happening?
You gotta scroll
Oh
up.
no, I've seen that.
You
and
gotta
that's
look.
horrible.
Who the fuck is gonna stop me from pouring pap rocks into my pussy? The government cannot control me.
Oh dear.
The big mood. Oh no.
Yep.
So anyways,
Anyways.
That can't be good
But
for, like,
essentially-
pH balance and whatnot. That's just not...
but essentially, if she lives here, she probably makes bank and has one of the best views in the entire city. You imagine from her spire, she can see all the way to the shore, and probably has like a great view of the bay even from here.
You mentioned the wizard thing. You know a wizard like that?
I know a couple. It's not the same realm of magic that I'm used to, but given time, I might be able to do it myself. I would need to do a little bit of research on the spell itself and possibly make myself a scroll for it or copy it from someone else's spellbook. I could probably cast it, but I don't have that magic now, so it would take me a bit of time, effort, and some of your money to do that.
You know Ryphon?
Yeah, I know Ryphon. Good guy.
I work for Ryphon. We work for Ryphon. I think figuring out how to do this is in the best interest of Brighthaven. Maybe the realm. Maybe the plane.
Interesting.
Maybe talk with him
My
about
rate-
it.
My rates still don't change.
That's
Ryphon
fine
is
if
a
he's
very
paying it. I don't care.
Ryphon is a very capable wizard. You can ask him if he's capable of such a thing. I personally don't think he is. He might be able to learn it. I don't think he's
I'm
quite as quick a study
more
as I am.
talking about his access to money.
Oh. Well, sure.
But he might also be able to help with research, don't know.
You would mention if I knew any powerful wizards in Ryphon. There's probably only a few wizards in town that can match his academic skill. He's not much of a fighter, but he's a great researcher and knows a lot about magic that's in the research realm, so he might be able to do it, but it's not as common a thing for him as some of the more experimental stuff that I do. There are probably a few wizards in the Solarian Academy who may already know how to do such a thing. And then if you really want to risk it, there's always Mordenkainen, but yeah, good luck talking to him.
Might not need luck. And then I think he just says, thanks.
You will.
This has been a help. I'll probably be back. And then he leaves.
Odd meeting you, she says in a very cheerful manner as you leave.
Sounds about right. And then he's gonna go to the blacksmith. And I don't want to waste a whole lot more of the game time with it, but basically he takes them his staff and his
Doggone.
infernal short sword, and he says, I want to fix this onto the end of this haft to make a spear.
Does it have to be this specific haft?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I decided to just make my camera Kaylee.
I love it.
I like it.
I'll give her something so she can chew, and then add like
Hug
Yeah,
the
listen, she's
camera.
talking. That's
her mouth.
perfect.
Yeah, it's me talking.
That's perfect.
So, you talk to them, and they're like, well, yeah, we could. Probably take us about a day. You probably wouldn't be able to make this quarterstaff a regular quarterstaff ever again, because we're gonna have to cut notches in it in order to make sure it's secure. Unless you want us to just try and like bind it with leathers, but that's not gonna be as good.
He
It's like,
I think he would point out that those notches and things already exist. Like this.
like this was a spear at one point.
Yeah, I expect they would have the eyes to notice that's the case.
Sorry, Tyler did not know that was the case.
That's something I haven't talked about. He's obsessed with
Fair
the
enough.
stick. He definitely has kept track of it, and that's for a
Okay.
reason.
Oh
Hi. Okay.
I see.
And it's not a sex thing, Dolphin.
yeah? Oh
Okay. So yeah, they kind of like assume it's just a quarterstaff because that's kind of how you like carry it around.
Yeah.
Or when you actually hand it to them, they're like, "Oh, interesting. This did appear to be a spear at one point." DM question to you: is this made out of any special wood?
yeah?
I don't know. I think that's kind of something I would let you decide. I expect it might be. I don't know that
it's-
makes it magic, but it's probably not from here.
Yeah, on
If
further
you know what I
inspection, they're looking at it and they're like, "This isn't. It's not magic, but this isn't from a tree on the material plane."
If you say so.
Is this felwood?
Yes. Does that change how it works?
No. You can certainly make some interesting things with felwood, and it only comes in a couple places. It's pretty rare, and they kind of like eye you interestingly. But yeah, we can kind of change the sword and combine it to this to make it a spear. We'll have to take the. We're not just gonna straight up strap a sword to a stick. We'll take off
Oh, that's good.
the crossbar and use the tang to lower it properly into the staff and rewrap it up, and we'll reinforce it so that it's a proper spear. Yeah, we can do that. Give us about a day.
I'll probably come back with money.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And then he leaves. And looks awkward. Because he's normally walking with a staff that he doesn't have anymore. So he kind of like
Morning,
walks
sir.
funny.
What?
How much did I say the rewards for this stuff was?
1 million.
How much did what? For what?
The rewards. I think when you guys left, he said like,
I didn't catch that.
I think I might have written it down, but it's gonna take a while for me to find it.
I didn't
You
catch
didn't
that
say
at all.
at the end of the meeting. I mean, I wasn't here for half of it, but
If
it
you make
said-
up a number now, I won't know any different.
it was like 20,000.
Yeah, 50, 70,000
Yeah, it's like
Per
a
person?
lot. It's like
per day.
yeah,
Wouldn't have
per
been.
hour.
Faint gets extra.
So I'll say there is a courier that arrives at the Emerald Shield asking for you all. I'm kind of assuming, Scarlet, you just basically go back to the Emerald Shield.
Sure. She wanted to go try and do some research, but she can go to the Emerald Shield for now.
I mean, you probably have time to do research first.
Okay.
So let's do that.
Okay. She wanted to try and research like Lyra and Mistwalkers.
And you're going to the library that Ryphon had given you access to before.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought we wouldn't get access to it without
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
Can we get access?
Well, yeah, that was the thing. You were gonna go, and they're gonna be like, "Sorry, you don't have access for today."
Well,
Alternatively, you can try to go to the Powell's, or try to find like a smaller library or something.
she'll try and go to Powell's and look for stuff.
Okay. What are you trying to research?
Lyra and Mistwalkers!
Make an investigation check.
Okay. I'm good at that, so. No, I stuck it today. That's a lot better. I believe that is a 26.
Very nice. So as you're researching through Powell's, you do find a book that's about the plane of water, and in it, you just happen upon a story of an ancient group of, they're described almost as shock troops called the Mistwalkers, that were under the command of a genie in the plane of water. And it seems to be mostly tales and apocryphal stories of the Mistwalkers and their adventures and what they were about. But it seems completely unrelated to Lyra. And in your research, you find several books that even talk about like major and minor gods of the multiverse. And what's interesting is that you don't find anything about Lyra at all. You even find other gods of chaos, gods of deception, that are kind of talked about as like ancient old gods or something. And Lyra is never mentioned. It is almost more significant that you didn't find anything about Lyra than that you found anything. If that makes sense.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Very interesting.
I'll go ahead and listen to the rest of this one. I should go to bed.
Okay. And they were
Okay.
probably
Hey, Faint stays over anyway, so he's gonna go hang out.
Cool.
Okay. Bye, Fred.
Good
you
Bye,
guys.
bro. Thanks.
Good night.
Later, later.
Anyone else want to do?
Yeah.
Carl is very adamant that Talon makes fun of General Clark's sexual prowess in verse 2. That is, like, at some point in the afternoon, Carl has started drinking and says, "That's what all the good bards do."
Okay, you get 2 lines. Here, I'll send you them. Actually, no. Here, you get a line.
You look at
Actually,
what
you
Talon
get-
has written down, and it is complete incoherent gibberish.
Here, you get this.
It is.
You
It's
have,
almost.
It's Charlie's fucking scratch Nightman stuff.
Yeah, basically, it's essentially like
It's a picture.
random markings and symbols that like mean things to him, and it's how he associates like with music and how he remembers things. But it makes no sense in terms of any form of actual language you've ever seen, or any music or sheet music you've ever seen written down. It looks baffling to you.
Carl looks at it and looks at Talon and looks at it and says, "This is pretty much what I expected."
What do you mean? This is, how can you not read this? It's amazing.
This is not people words.
It is people words. See?
It's Talon words, not people words.
Oh, that's rude.
You are maybe a people, but not all people use these words.
Sure, but you can you can read, but that doesn't mean you're smart. So, and it doesn't mean you could read this, because
I don't think anyone could read this. I don't even think you. I think you're creatively interpreting whatever you wrote on the fly. Like you're just pulling it out of your backside, mister.
And is there something wrong with that?
Nah, you're the bard.
Yeah.
Let's ask Krug.
The
Krug?
illiterate bard.
Yes.
Actually, bards are illiterate.
Yeah.
Maybe Krug can read it. You guys have like a brain thing.
Between the two of you, you seem to have a brain. I was gonna say, I do imagine
implied, not what Carl said.
somehow Krug probably can read it. I feel it in my jellies.
Both of you make intelligence checks.
Alright.
It's gonna go so well. Wait, what do I click on?
Just the word intelligence.
Man,
Which is ironic.
everything goes to fucking dice jail today.
I don't really like the way they're doing, like, it seems so weird to click on, like, different things. Wow, if I click on the number, it just rolls immediately. Oh, that's so weird.
Oh!
I don't
That's
like
a
how they're
4.
doing it. Yeah, see? Like, so weird how they're doing it.
I got a 4.
So yeah, Talon is trying to describe this to you, Krug, and you kind of nod your head like you understand what he's talking about, but you have no idea what he's talking about.
Dice jail. That sounds about right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then Carl says,
But as he's like, no, see, this means you play this, and he'll, like, play a note, and you're like, oh, I can play that note, and then you, like, pull out your lute and play that note. But, like, you still, you notice even that, like, Talon doesn't even always use the same symbol for the same note. Like,
Why would you? It's a feeling, man.
yeah, it's feeling.
a 4-chord song.
You play it with a different timbre, you know? No. You don't play that note like this, strum. You play it like this, strum. And Krug's like, okay. But it makes it really hard to keep track of, like, what scratch marks make what noises. So yeah. Anyone else doing anything?
Scarlet's nerding. What's Kanaka up to on that boat?
He's on a boat.
Looking at that mad ocean shit.
He's on a boat.
Yep.
Oh, it's not nighttime yet, so I can't do anything.
Yeah. So, you end up getting the secured courier at the inn. They look a little nervous to be carrying this much money around town. And within, there is 6,000 gold.
This did not come out how I wanted it. Hold on.
And there's a little note from Ryphon along with the gold as well.
Oops, not 600, 6,000.
Quick,
Which would be, if you
please.
divide it up, 1,000 per person.
Yay!
Subway.
Why is something that I'm copying out of Word coming up as a PNG
I don't
in
know.
Discord?
What the shit?
Someone who can read note. Quickly.
So
Carl
confused.
says, I'm too drunk from you this afternoon. How will you do it? Oops, wrong one.
Is there? Bernard seems to be keeping people out of the basement. By the way, and is kind of protecting Zier's corpse. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
I think
Is it nighttime yet?
someone wants to read the note, right? From...
Yeah, we want to read the
Oh.
note.
Yeah, I'll read a note.
There we go.
I'll read a note. I like reading notes.
Man,
Read a note.
Skywood drunk. Morning drunk.
Okay. So the note, I don't actually have it written out, but it basically says um, like, thank you very much for your help. This is the money that you are owed, even though circumstances changed and it was glands, not heads, etc. Do appreciate your service, and if you are interested in helping with a venture to the Violet Toll, I would be interested in having you along. Having said that, it is probably best to steer clear of the city council for a while. I don't know what your possible cultural backgrounds are, but some of the things done and said were extremely inappropriate. And know that you should not do those things next time you're in the city council chamber, if you ever are again.
Oh, Sadie, you're brave.
But that, I can't come up with anything better than that. Like, I don't like the last part because it's not at all.
Also, this is
It'll be
Krug in
fine.
regards to peeing. It's that sign can't stop me because I can't read.
The next time you go to the city council, there's going to be a sign up that says, "Please do not pee on council floor." It's one of those
You know
signs
those signs
that's like, you know, this sign is here because this happened, and so they had to make a sign for it. What the fuck?
Mhm.
Well,
Very
there's Krug's
specific.
legacy.
Alright. Kanaka, your last night at sea, I would like you to roll a religion check.
Oh! Bruh. Where's R? I can't even find it. There it is. Oh, I'm not gonna get anything with this last. Yep.
So as you are doing your meditation, and you're trying to reach out and speak with Titania, you realize that as the season is shifting, it is getting harder to reach out. You get the sense that you're trying, and she's trying to hear you, but there's something preventing it. It is more difficult than almost it should be to contact her, but you have no idea why. It could be the season, but through your meditations, you are still unable to get in contact with her. I will say though, as you are reaching out to her, there's part of you that it's like internal, but it's not internal. It feels like I mean, the only way to really describe this is it feels like a part of your soul is